for the officials. Heads up play. They're going to get some free throws here and try to make it a 2-possession game.
82% free throw shooter. First one goes through. UCF, 5 of 5 from the charity stripe in this half. Four-point advantage for the Knights. Quaintance. Jihad for three. Too strong. A lot of time left on the clock. Not the shot they wanted. And a whistle is blown. Johnson goes back to the free throw line.
Difficult possession right there for the Sun Devils. They got the inside touch, and Jihad just kind of chucked it up without, he was open and he didn't want to take too long to shoot it, but he rushed his shot. Wasn't the best look, and Johnson back at the line trying to ice this thing. Last 2 possessions for Arizona State, they hoisted up threes.
Well, you got a 3 from Miller, and you got a 3 from Jihad. Ball's knocked out of bounds and will stay with the Knights, and the nail driven into the coffin. Arizona State hasn't scored in more than 2 minutes. And there's consequences to that.
Big time hustle play. Johnson has effectively closed the door on the Sun Devils these final 3 or 4 possessions. His straight line drives, his free throws, and right there, he missed the free throw but had the presence of mind to be a pest and ends up getting the ball back for his team.
We say it all the time, but in a conference, as you see the official review going on, where every night is like a rock fight, when you're so close to victory on your home floor, it's devastating to possibly, as we look right now, to be staring down the barrel of a loss for Arizona State.
Arizona State trailing for most of this game, made some great plays, actually took the lead, but it was the offense in the last 2 minutes that really struggled. Questionable shot selection, and on the other end, the Knights executed through their point guard, Johnson. Able to get some points in some key possessions.
B.J. Freeman with 26 points. But looks like it won't be enough.
Well, now if you're Arizona State, you need some absolute magic to happen. You've got to get a turnover and a quick bucket. Get this back to a 1-possession game somehow.
36 points for Keyshawn Hall. Playing keep away from Quaintance, who eventually catches up to him and fouls him. And a chance to tack on 2 more to an explosive performance. 36 points, I just mentioned that. 13 of 18 from the floor. You see the 7 rebounds and 4 of 6 from beyond the arc. That is a career high now. .38 points. And at this point, it is academic for the Sun Devils. Mason racing across half court. Draws the 3. Stops a 6-0 run. And the lead is now trimmed to 4. Bobby Hero still working the officials. Feel the intensity coming off the head coach in his 10th year at Arizona State.
game like this where every possession matters, you tend to look at a call that you didn't get and then what that leads to, and Coach Hurley visibly upset. Working the officials. So when isn't he working the officials? The disciple of Coach K, who was notorious for working refs in the ACC for decades.
So 4-point advantage for UCF. If you're Arizona State here, what can you do to try to grab this one? You're desperate right now.
You gotta do what's called running through the ball. So as the ball gets entered and it's being passed, you just got to run through and try to steal it. And if you get a piece of the guy, that's fine because it's an immediate whistle. So run through the ball, try to get a steal, and then you're trying to get a quick three.
All inbounds. Cross half court. Under 5 seconds. Quaintance gets a hand on him. And an opportunity now for 40 points.
And call me crazy because Hall had a magnificent game, but I think Johnson's play in the second half down the stretch and the big buckets that they got from Taylor, I mean, those were the plays that really set the tempo and kind of and made impacts in terms of the way they're able to hold on and win this game.
So the loss will be the 3rd straight for Arizona State. On the other side, UCF is able to split their trip out in the desert, losing Saturday night to Arizona. They'll pick up the victory here, and they are now 2-1 on the road in the Big 12.
I think Big 12 teams will come to learn that the Arizona trip is no cakewalk. Both gyms difficult to play in. Both teams are going to fight like heck on their home court, but it's the Knights who come out victorious. Gutsy second half and a sensational performance by Keyshawn Hall.
Well, Coach Mike Krzyzewski, a reason to smile as you see those two coaches embrace. And anybody who's a fan of the UCF Knights, you are ear to ear right now after the performance by that young man. 40 points for Keyshawn Hall and a victory for UCF on the road. 95-89. Final thoughts, Corey Williams.
Arizona State played a good game, but didn't get it done in the final minutes. But that young man got it done all night. Keyshawn Hall, the hero, as the Knights get the win.
If you stayed up late with us tonight, it was well worth it. Once again, our final score, UCF 95, Arizona State 89. And for Corey Williams, I'm Pete Souza, saying so long from Arizona State.
Welcome into College Football Live. I'm Victoria Arlen. Let's go out the tunnel. With the championship matchup set, we take a look at the explosive Ohio State offense, and Dez tells us one possibility on how to slow them down. Plus, with a stingy Ohio State defense, Notre Dame is going to have to find the edge, and Sam will give you the key stat for Notre Dame you might want to pay attention to. And Penn State's dynamic duo are running it back. With Singleton and Allen returning for another season, we discuss what's next for Penn State after falling short this year. This is College Football Live. Let's go.
Welcome to College Football Live, presented by Great Clips.
You know who also is running it back with me? Desmond Howard and Sam Acho. We also have Pete Thamel joining us in just a bit. But happy Tuesday, everyone. We are officially less than a week away from the national championship game. And to get you ready, let's take a look at some of the biggest storylines heading into national championship weekend. This year, CFP is highlighted by two of the most successful programs in the FBS, with Ohio State ranked second, while Notre Dame is ranked fourth for the most wins. Now, the Buckeyes are on the better side of this head-to-head matchup, winning the last 6 matchups against the Fighting Irish, with Notre Dame not having won since 1936. But let's not forget that Notre Dame is 7-0 versus AP-ranked opponents this season. It is the most ranked wins in a season in program history. Needless to say, streaks will be broken. Now, the Notre Dame-Ohio State title game will be just the 3rd CFP championship game to not feature an SEC team. It will also be the first time without an SEC team in a national championship in consecutive seasons since the 2004-2005 season. And another storyline that I'm keeping an eye on is the fact that Marcus Freeman played for Ohio State. They went to the Natty twice, lost twice. His head coaching debut for the Fighting Irish was against the Buckeyes. It was an ugly loss. Nonetheless, very intriguing. But Sam, which storyline intrigues you the most?
I'm most intrigued to see if Notre Dame can keep on winning the way in which they've been winning, which has been on defense and on special teams. Their offense hasn't had the utmost amount of production, but they've won games with their defense, whether it's pick sixes or sack fumbles, and they've won games on special teams. They had fakes, reverse, block kicks, block punts. So I want to watch if that's going to continue to happen in this matchup.
Guys, I think this is the classic David versus Goliath matchup. I mean, you're looking at Ohio State coming to this season, don't forget, because of they made during the offseason, they were seen as a Goliath. They got the #1 safety out of the portal, Caleb Downs from Alabama. The #1 running back out of the portal, Quinshon Judkins from Ole Miss. They got Will Howard. They got an offensive lineman from Ohio State. But the big get was my man Chip Kelly. They got him to quit his job as the head coach at UCLA and become the offensive coordinator for the Buckeyes. So because of that, they're the Goliath in this matchup. And you got poor old Notre Dame coming in there with their slingshots in the pocket full of rocks, beat up all year long, just made it to the finish line, and they're playing the role of David, trying to knock off this Goliath in the Ohio State Buckeyes.
We do know how that story ends, though, Des. I'm just saying. We do know the slingshot did pay off well. But speaking of Chip Kelly, let's hear what he had to say earlier today about his offense.
You do until you turn the tape on and look at their defense and say, I don't know if that play is going to work against them. I don't know if that play is going to work against them, just because of how good they are defensively. You know, it's the one thing in our week of preparation and going into it is just, you know, how much respect we have for Notre Dame's defense and what they can do and what they've done against everybody they've played. You know, it's you watch those guys play as a fan of football, you just kind of admire how cohesive that entire group is, and then how hard that group plays. So, you know, credit to Marcus and Al for what he's got, how those guys got those guys playing right now.
Des, let's talk about the Ohio State offense versus the Notre Dame defense. What is the game plan Notre Dame needs to have to be able to take down the #1 offense in the country?
Yeah, well, guys, Chip Kelly has been in his bag this whole postseason. Like, everything he's dialed up has been right on point. So, to me, what you need to do is you want to eliminate the explosive. This offense is geared for a track meet. They want big plays with Jeremiah Smith or Trevion Henderson. If you can slow them down, then they're not designed to sustain drives of 12 plays or 14 plays. To me, they don't have that type of composure. When you put them in that situation, Will Howard will throw the ball to the other team. You look at the games they've had, the close games, especially against Nebraska. That game was 21-17. He threw an interception. Against Penn State, 20-13. He threw an interception and he fumbled going into the end zone. Of course, against Michigan, they lost 13-10. He threw 2 interceptions. So if you put them in a situation where they can't go up and down the field because they get so much confidence with those explosives, but make them earn every yard, then I believe that you're playing the type of defensive game that they will have a problem with on offense.
And if you're Notre Dame, you talk about earning yards. I actually want to talk about the unearned yards, at least on the offensive side of the ball. Notre Dame defensively gets a lot of interceptions, but let's have those interceptions turn into pick sixes. That's one thing Notre Dame did better than anyone else in the entire nation. They led college football in interception return yardage. And so, no, when the season ended, they didn't have the most picks, but the amount of yardage that they gained on the defensive side of the ball change games and change their season. And so, if Will Howard does throw you the ball, if they're trying to force feed Jeremiah Smith, what Notre Dame needs to do and gets to do is have guys like Xavier Watts, number 0, the former Nagurski Award winner, guys like Christian Gray, have those guys not just get interceptions, but find the end zone to create some hidden yardage and some points on offense for your team.
Now, Notre Dame has been stingy on defense, allowing the lowest completion percentage among all FBS teams. However, the Buckeyes defense also ranks in the top 5 in yards per game allowed and pressure rate. But here's Jim Knowles earlier today on the top 2 defenses squaring off.
That's how I led with our guys. Is, we have to outplay their defense. They're obviously very good in all aspects and in that area. So, our mantra has been, since I've got here, to be able to win games on defense. So, yeah, we embrace it.
From one defense to another, let's compare the Notre Dame offense versus the Ohio State defense. So, Des, give us one player on Notre Dame's offense that could be the difference maker in this one.
I think the difference maker is their running back, Jeremiah Love. Now, he was a little banged up in the last game that they had, but he had some extra time to get a little healthier. He had a right leg injury, he had a brace on it, so we wasn't sure how he was going to perform in the Orange Bowl, but he played extremely well. I think he's the guy who they need to get going and get going early. He can just, he's a tough runner in between the tackles, but he's also a home run hitter. I was there in South Bend when the young man went 98 yards in the first playoff game against Indiana. So to me, they have to get they have to get Love going early and often, because that running game is going to be paramount if they're going to attack this Buckeyes defense.
A big difference maker for Notre Dame all around is Marcus Freeman, but take a listen to what he had to say during halftime at the semifinal game.
It's a 7-point game. We get the ball first. So just understand, that's all it is right now. Now, what do we have to do to change it? We got to be able to run the ball, right? We got to be able to run the ball, right? And we got to stop the run. That's all it is, man. We ain't about to panic. They don't need to be nervous. It's a fight. It's a 7-point ball game, and we get the ball first. It's a fight. Go out there.
Now, Sam, when you hear this, I want to talk to you about this one. When you hear Coach Freeman and you see this team, what stands out to you?
Hey, what stands out to me is where are my pads? I want to go out there and play. This team is dominant when it comes to what they do in the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half. And the reason why is that you hear it. Like, in that game, they were down 10-3, couldn't do anything. And all of a sudden, like, what happened was, boom, they had the opportunity, and they got suited up. And so for me, I found a helmet. Coach, sign me up. It might be the wrong helmet
too,
but put me in the game. Like, for the long run, this is the first time I've wanted to go back and suit up and play a game. Marcus Freeman, hey, I'm in, Coach. Put me in.
I need a helmet.
Put me in the
game.
Or
anything?
Straight up.
Let's go.
Straight up. I'm telling you, there's something special about listening to a coach that has that kind of for you. Like, I straight up was getting chills listening to that. To be totally honest with you guys,
yeah.
We heard a little bit of the sound before the show, and I literally put my earpiece in so I could hear what he was saying. The passion, the fire, the energy. Sign me up. I'm ready to play. I have a little bit of eligibility. Trust me, I got like 6 more months. Let's go. Come on.
Hey, Sam, I feel you on that.
Des?
I mean, we've all had these coaches who are like, it's like a fire, brimstone halftime speech that has you ready to run through a brick wall for him. So I get it. I completely understand. And to me, that's what it's going to take for Notre Dame to compete, especially defensively, against all the weapons that the Buckeyes are going to bring to the game.
Well, guys, I have a helmet.
How could you not want to play for that? Like, that's my question. How could you? That's the wrong helmet, Victoria. That ain't going to fly. Hey, with Marcus Freeman, that'll fly. But my question is, like, honestly, how could you not want to play for a coach like that? If you're a high school kid, a college kid, when you hear, it's not somebody cussing you out. Helmet, Victoria. That ain't going to fly. Hey, with Marcus Freeman, that'll fly. But my question is, like, honestly, how could you not want to play for a coach like that? If you're a high school kid, a college kid, when you hear, it's not somebody cussing you out. Question is, like, honestly, how could you not want to play for a coach like that? If you're a high school kid, a college kid, when you hear, it's not somebody cussing you out and cuss you up and down. No, they're actually encouraging you. They're motivating you. Oh, by the way, he's done it.
Formally. We're going to bring Pete back with us. And Pete, on a scale from not happening to happening, where are we with Deion?
Phase of this potential courtship. Obviously, Jerry Jones and Deion Sanders are old friends. It makes sense that he would reach out. Deion gave a statement last night to our Adam Schefter, and the general tenor was intrigue, but not ready to take next steps. So I would think this. When you look at the Big 12 pay scale right now, Deion Sanders is behind Mike Gundy before his pay cut anyway.
Goes back to Devonish Mears, who is just as calm with his feet. Wonder perhaps whether that's the reason he's been preferred to the veteran Andrew Redmayne by Ufuk Talay. Harrison Devonish Mears, Sydney born, went through the US college system with the South Florida Bulls, had time in Romania, back in his hometown. Sent off on debut, actually, but reinstated to the side and has held on to it ever since. Senna looking to set something up for Sydney FC. Segicic. Quick feet into Caceres, and then Klamala cleared by Wellington, but not all the way clear. Lolly looking to recycle to Jesus. Lolly. I'll try the left-hand side again through King. No way forward there. Senna. Away, and Wellington's patience pays off, but Sam Sutton immediately gives it up. It's on Joe Lolly. He plays in a wide position, doesn't he, for a guy who's got 8 goals to actually be a winger rather than a centre forward. It's pretty prolific, isn't it?
I think it's fantastic, but I think if you actually watch, he's quite happy to go. Well, he's probably allowed. I think Talay allows him to go wherever he likes, and he does start out in the wide position, but he just drifts in, goes and picks it up where he wants, and little 1-2s inside. He's never one to stand still and watch his pass.
Now here he is now on the ball, proving your point as it goes into the centre forward position. Here's Caceres. Thought about shooting. Hangs it up at the far post. Wellington get it clear only as far as Klamala. Great save by Ilby Kelly-Heald. His first save chalked up in the A-League. He'll be very happy about that one. Came at him fast, had to beat it away.
I think he'll be really pleased with that. It's one that he should save, and he'll know that, but to be able to get your gloves on it and see it go away on your debut, brilliant for him.
He might have some more work to do here as Sydney come again. King can't find Segicic with the pass, but does get the ball back.
With that, it's one that he should save, and he'll know that, but to be able to get your gloves on it and see it go away on your debut, brilliant for him.
He might have some more work to do here as Sydney come again. King can't find Segicic with the pass, but does get the ball back. Segicic again, relishing a start. towards the penalty arc. It's going to fall for Segicic. He can't get the shot away. Adrian Segicic had fell to him in a handy position. Wellington looked to have a rare period of possession in Sydney's half, but ball taken away from them. They're soaking it up though. Jacob Spoonley a sideline for us. Come to you in a sec, Jacob, when we've got a quieter moment. We probably can do now. Wellington just sitting, soaking it up.
They are, Piney, and if you keep an eye on Nagasara and Retray, they're wanting to get out and put pressure on Senna and Holman, but if they do, that's when Segicic steps in, and he's been particularly prominent just in front of the Wellington Phoenix backline.
Wellington just sitting, soaking it up.
They are, Piney, and if you keep an eye on Nagasara and Retray, they're wanting to get out and put pressure on Senna and Holman, but if they do, that's when Segicic steps in, and he's been particularly prominent just in front of the Wellington Phoenix backline. Important 10 minutes for the Phoenix now, Piney, but they are being bolstered by the performance of Albie Kelly-Heald. After those first important touches that Ifey noted, he's come up with some big saves.
Segicic, suggestion of a push, not given, little nutmeg, Segicic! Deflected behind for a corner. Adrian Segicic causing headaches for Wellington's rear guard.
Just probably too strong there. There was maybe clip the heels, but I like the runs he makes. He's always willing to go beyond. If he can't get it beyond, he'll drop short to get it in that sort of 10 position. He's really hard for the Phoenix to get hold of, and he picks up positions on the left-hand side. He's happy to go down the middle. Very, very difficult, because he's not just staying on Sheridan. Sometimes he comes in inside on Hughes. Sometimes he drops off. So, big fan of his movement.
Leo Senna to take this corner. It's crowded in there. Piper does get it away. Only as far as Caceres. King. Retray puts the big right boot to it and clears Wellington's lines. Sydney FC haven't been big first half goal scorers. 21 of their 29 goals have come in the second half. So this is not unusual for them to not be as prolific in the first half. First nervous moment, really, for Albie Kelly-Heald in the first 40 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think Scott Wooden's helped him here. I think he's bounced one into him. He's had to sort of take it, try to take it with his studs. It's sprang off the studs and put him under a bit of pressure there.
Sydney FC come again to Jesus. Can't get past Sam Sutton, who's been really good at left back in the first half out. Sam Sutton striding out and bring the ball away. Little shove on Corey Holman as he ran past him. You can see there the crowd wanted the forward pass, didn't they? Rather than the more conservative approach.
Yeah, look, it's difficult because, again, if you've not had possession for a while, sometimes you just want to keep it, get a touch of the ball again. We've given it, or the Phoenix have given it away too many times, trying to go direct. It's not always on, and sometimes you need to make that extra pass and get more bodies up the pitch.
Sydney FC have dropped in, everyone behind the ball for the Sky Blues right now, and they will win possession back. Ufuk-Talay, bottom of screen, directing traffic in his technical area as they try and pass it out and do it pretty efficiently. Scotty Wootton wins it back for his side. Retray. Game just at walking pace at the moment as Wellington size up their options. Sheridan. So as you say, I think it's a period of possession, regardless of where it is, can build confidence in a side.
Yeah, look, sometimes you just need touches. If you haven't had a touch for a while, get some touches, get back on the ball, move the opposition around.
Lovely ball to Sheridan, pulls it back to Ashiga. Hideki Ashiga into the back of Ryan Grant. On target from Hideki Ashiga, but Devonish Mears not having to make a save. Matt Sheridan again, and Hayden Matthews slices it up over his own crossbar, corner for Wellington.
Yeah, so a little bit of possession. We've just been talking about it. You get a little bit of possession. It means that when he does go that's Acosta, he can pick a pass. He picks a great pass, and then the second pass from wide goes into Ashiga. It's a decent shot, to be fair. On another day, that might hit somebody and go in, but a little better there from the Phoenix.
And another corner there, second. Again, Sam Sutton's going to line it up. Good numbers forward for Wellington in and around Sydney FC's penalty area. There's the delivery from Sam Sutton, near post. It's good. Flick, oh, and an up and over from Devonish Mears. He has had to make a save there now. Just going to identify the header of the ball there. Might have been Isaac Hughes.
It's actually really good movement from Hughes there, making a near post run. It was probably a little bit under hit, but he's done well to get something on it, and he had to pull up a very good save.
So another corner results. Again, Sutton towards the near post. Not cleared by Sydney initially, but now they'll get it away.
Just looking at those last two deliveries, Pine, I think it's actually something they must have worked on, because he's hit them in exactly the same spot, and Hughes is making the same run.
Lucas Kelly-Hill thought he was fouled there. Referee in close attendance. And Paulo Retre sliding in and annoyed with himself that he couldn't stop the ball from going out.
I think he committed so early to the sliding tackle and then realised there was nobody there to go to tackle with, and realised that he could have stayed on his feet and probably played the pass.
So possession pretty even. More attempts for Sydney FC in this first half. A couple of big saves from LB Kelly-Hill. He might be caught into action here again with Klamala. Sliding tackle from Isaac Hughes. That's okay too, says the referee. And Wellington might be able to counter-attack here through Costa Barbarouses. Corbin Piper is in the penalty area. Ashiga just outside. Costa Barbarouses looking for an opening. And it doesn't come his way. And now Sydney FC might break as we approach the final minute of the first half. Joel King, he's got some space to run into. Once again, Sydney FC happy to be patient. Senna. Senna into the arc and can't get the shot away. Lolly has popped up on the left-hand side now. Can't imagine there'll be too many added minutes. Maybe just the one to be added. I can't recall any real stoppages in play. Is there a final chance in the first half for either side? Might come courtesy of that pass, which Joel King has only just kept in but hasn't retained. Confirmation of one extra minute. Corbin Piper's gone down. Referee wants play to go on for the meantime, does he? Or has he blown it up? He's blown it up. It's Giancarlo Italiano having a chat to fourth official Campbell Kirk Kawana-War. Not sure you have to read lips particularly well to get the gist of that.
Yeah, I don't think he was too pleased.
I think it's also in reference to the Corey Holman challenge that happened moments ago and got the ire of the yellow fever. A couple of late challenges coming in from Sydney FC in the last few moments. Piney.
Thanks, Jake. As we are in the final stages of the first half. Is there one final attack? Doesn't look like it. It'll be Kelly Hill, no doubt, will just put his foot into this one and out towards the left. We've had the extra 1 minute. Sean Evans with a quick check of the watch. Free kick coming the way of Wellington. That might be it for the first half. And before Wellington can take the free kick, referee Sean Evans decides that the first half will come to a close. A battle for Wellington. They've been on the back foot a little bit. Slim pickings up top for Costa Barbarousis. Corbin Piper has been in a battle, and LB Kelly Hill on debut has made a couple of big saves and kept a first half clean sheet. As we go to the sheds at half-time here at Sky Stadium, it's goalless between the Wellington Phoenix and Sydney FC.
That's what he can do. Electric.
This is just about as good as it gets in European football.
It started with his name, which led me to a wedding and a baby imminent. He worked on the loom, but changing times forced him to find other work. Our cities were transformed by people willing to turn their hand to anything. I discovered he was one of them, my great-granddad, Arthur Wade.
Bring your backstory to life with Ancestry.
From Mum, new year, new you. Goal achieved.
So when I went to sleep, my jewels were here. And when I woke up, gone. A night's morning and I have an espresso coffee. Unforgettable. My jewels.
I must confiscate the evidence.
Don't forget to recycle.
Nespresso. What else?
We all love mealtime, especially when it's Bella and Duke Raw Nutrition, made with natural ingredients. Here you go, boy. Oh, Ark, you're fabulous. Don't just shake. Shazizzle. Delicious meals with at least 80% fresh raw meat, topped off with juicy berries and veg in every bowl. Get 40% off your first box. Life's better with Bella and Duke.
Who am I? I'm the one who can be 100 different investors all at once. With eToro, I can be Grace, a global tech investor. Or Max, a German local stock specialist. I could be Jan, a passive dividend hunter. Hey, I could be David. This David. With eToro, you can be inspired by investors worldwide. Their knowledge, their strategies, all out there for the taking. Be the investor you want to be. eToro.
With the biggest range of cars to buy entirely online, it's no wonder everyone's cinching it. Alf cinched it. Becky cinched it with a 14-day money-back guarantee. Chris and Sue cinched it with no surprise fees.
Everything was covered.
With so many great reasons to buy it. The nation aren't just nailing it, they're cinching it.
Is cancer winning? Cancer research won't let it. We made radiotherapy possible, so cancer couldn't stop his big day. We studied tumor DNA to find better treatments so she can see her girls grow up. We're finding new ways to outsmart cancer so more people